on the Japanese highway.
Tell me more about the platform.
This platform, called Focal Online TV Daily Edition of Inside the Print Media, does not encourage any form of dialogue between the viewers and the presenters.
Oh, you mean nobody calling there?
No, you can't call on a show. Let me talking out like when we're no calling there. So all you can do is you will listen to the news, and they can also encourage you to buy the newspaper to listen to the news in details.
But do you do viewer recognition at times?
Oh yes, we do viewer recognition. When you are watching, we notify you, and sometimes we even appreciate you on a show, telling you thank you for always following us. We also encourage you to share the live stream, because the more you share the live stream, we transform and we transition ourselves as a broadcast team as well.
Wow. So when can I better get this program you are talking about?
This program is aired every Monday to Friday at 10 a.m. to 10:45. The program runs for 45 minutes.
Wow.
And guess what?
Wow.
We bring you hot stories of our trending situation within our country, Liberia. Imagine hearing stories from Hot Pepper newspaper, from the Daily Observer newspaper, from Front Page Africa. Are you a lover of Front Page Africa?
Oh yes, I'm a lover of
Front Page Africa, and the Women Voices, and a lot more. Not forgetting international news, BBC,
wow.
CNN, ABC News. We bring you headlines from those standpoints.
Wow, that is very, very, very amazing.
So we say, join us every day on the daily edition of Inside the Print Media at 10 a.m. with the headlines of top stories in our country and the world at large on Focal Online TV.
Good morning, good evening, depending on your geographical location. My name is Kate Ledon Topa, anchoring this edition of the program Inside the Print Media. Well, it is always a pleasure to be here to bring you trending development relative to our country, Liberia. So this morning we have varieties of newspaper and very, 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 very interesting headlines this morning. For those of you who are watching from the medium of the television, we encourage you to share the live videos so as to enable many people to follow the program and be informed about what is taking place in Liberia and around our global village. This morning, we have the Verity newspaper in our possession. The headlines on the Verity newspaper says, Liberian officials study Kenya's approach to managing donor-funded projects. Liberian officials study Kenya's approach to managing donors-funded projects. And you see a group of Liberians, government officials, in this particular photograph. We are very hopeful that what they are learning will be utilized to transform the day-to-day realities in our country, Liberia. So let's bring you the content of the news strip. A Liberian delegation has returned from a study tour in Kenya where they explore best practices for managing donors-funded projects through national systems and civil servant expertise. The tour held from May 24 to 28 in Nairobi provided key government officials with first-hand insight into the Kenya's approach to integrating local governance structures into developmental programs. Led by Assistant Finance Minister for Extended Resources and Debt Management, Honorable Alice Willett, the delegations included representatives from the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, the Liberia Revenue Authority, the Public Procurement and Concession Commission, the Liberia Anti-Corruption Commission, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, and the Ministry of Posts and Telecommunication. The visit came at a crucial time as Liberia moves to implement the governance reform and accountability transformation grid, a project of 30 million initiative funded by the International Development Association of the World Bank. The project is designed to enhance national identification, streamline e-governance and improve tax administration, strengthen the corruption efforts and reinforce financial management. Throughout the visit, the delegation engaged in roundtable discussion and expert presentation with Kenya's counterpart, including officials from the National Treasury of Kenya, the Public Financial Management Reform Secretariat, and the World Bank office in Nairobi. They also invited a program implementation unit of the Financing Locally Led Climate Action Program, gaining valuable knowledge of Kenyan donor coordination framework and effective project execution strategy. Assistant Minister Williams highlighted the importance of the study toward enhancing financial management with practical insight that will help us strengthen public financial management, empower civil servants, and create a more transparent, accountable system for handling donors' resources, she stated. So that is a very big story within the Verity newspaper. The Ministry of Health launches training to reduce maternal mortality. The Ministry of Health launches a robust training to Congo what they refer to as maternal mortality, the number of babies, mother who died during the process of giving birth. That is very crucial. We have heard similar stories, many stories about a particular situations involving maternal mortality. So let's give you the content. The Ministry of Health has launched a low dose, high frequency emergency obstetric care training program to strengthen the skills of healthcare workers in Montserrat, Margibi, and Nima counties that account for nearly 80% of Liberia's maternal mortality cases. The initiative aims to improve the competencies of skilled birth attendants through frequent short training sessions that enhance knowledge retention and hands-on clinical expertise. With focus on emergency obstetric care, the program equips healthcare providers to manage life-threatening childbirth complications such as postpartum hemorrhage, obstructed labors, and other forms of critical problems. It also emphasizes rapid response, effective communications, and teamwork, all critical factors in handling obstetric emergency. Dr. Emily S. Johnson, Director for the Family Health Division, highlighted the importance of the initiative in strengthening maternal health care services. This program is vital to enhancing the quality of care for women in our communities, especially in counties with high maternal mortality rate, she said. By providing the skills of healthcare providers, we are taking a significant step towards ensuring safe deliveries and reducing preventable maternal deaths. That is another story. You see, the healthcare provided yet in a day-long workshop meant to enhance the capacity on combating issues relative to maternal mortality death. Let's go over to another newspaper. That is the Front Page Africa newspaper. Ex-Liberian President George Weah office refused allegations of withholding presidential vehicle, accuses Unity Party government of taking another credit. Ex-President George Weah office refused allegations of withholding presidential vehicle, accuses Unity Party government of taking undue credits. You see the photograph of President George Weah, Eugene Vagon, who works currently, Eugene Nangle, who works currently in the office of former President George Weah. You see the photograph of the EPS director, Sam Gade, and you also see the photograph of the Liberian President, Joseph Joman Boakai. Then Eugene Nangle, the chief of staff to former President George Weah, has launched a fierce criticisms of the director of the Executive Protection Services, Sam Gade, accusing him of incompetence and lack of professionalism in handling his duties. Appearing on the OK Morning Show Monday, Nangle described Gade as a USAID director, alleging that he lacks the capacity to serve in such a strategic position. Now it comes regarding Gay's handling of the sensitive security matters, particularly those involving former President George Weah. According to Nangbe, Gay's actions and decisions have often been reckless and unprofessional, citing multiple instances where the EPS boss allegedly acted without properly investigating the facts. One such instance Nangbe recounted involved the arrest of former Deputy EPS Director Siwe Briggs, who was detained on Gay's alleged orders after being accused of riding a government vehicle. According to Nangbe, Gay had claimed that the vehicle was a government car, but upon investigation, it turned out to be a false alarm. It was his "you say I say" situation, Nangbe remarked, criticizing Gay for acting on an unverified claim without conducting a proper investigation. Nangbe, who also served as the Commissioner General for the Liberia Maritime Authority, stressed the role of the EPS Director is crucial, especially when it comes to national security matters. If he does not know the job well, he needs to be sacked by the President, Nangbe added, highlighting the importance of professionalism in the security sector. Nangbe also took the opportunity to clarify the issue surrounding the vehicle assigned to former President George Weah, which he said had been officially turned over to the EPS. It was the duty of the EPS boss to inform the Liberian people about the 15 vehicles that were turned over, and the one being used by former Liberian leader is his own personal vehicle, Nangbe explained. He further alleged that Gay had attempted to target Weah personally, citing a disturbing photograph allegedly displayed in Gay's office, which appeared to show a gun pointed at former President Weah. Nangbe claimed that this information was revealed by an unidentified source, but challenged Gay to deny it publicly. However, when contacted for a response, Gay dismissed the allegation as false and misleading. Moving beyond his criticisms of Gay, Nangbe also addressed broader national security governance issues. In particular, he drew distinctions between the cases of Samuel Twe and Branell Semuka, two former government officials currently facing legal challenges. Nangbe argued that Twe's case involved the use of government funds for national security purposes, while Semuka's case involved the misuse of private funds, specifically the money of soldiers under the instructions of former President Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. The president must instruct you to use government money for national security purposes, Nangbe stated, emphasizing the legal differences between the cases. Nangbe also revealed that the amount of money used for national security purposes under the current administration has surpassed $6 million, a stark contrast to the funds used for similar purposes during the Weah's tenure. Despite the expenditure, he stressed that the current government must focus more on addressing the pressing challenges facing the country, such as public health, education, and the welfare of the ordinary citizen. The imposition of new taxes, untold hardship, and more children are not in school due to financial issues, and their parents are not working. These are the issues that need attention, Nangbe emphasized. He also pointed at the Emirates Hospital in Bapolu as a particular example of the government failure to address critical infrastructure needs. Nangbe further alleged that the current administration led by President Joseph Boakai was attempting to steal the vision of former President George Weah. According to Nangbe, the current government is taking credit for projects initiated under Weah's leadership without properly acknowledging the previous administration work. He specifically referenced road projects in Nimbag and RIA Road as examples of initiatives that were either paid off or started during the previous government. The past government did 60% of the projects, and now the current administration is taking the credit, Nangbe said, expressing the frustration with what he perceived as an attempt to erase Weah's legacy. He also pointed out the dedication of the Fishery College at the University of Liberia as another example of the alleged theft of vision. Nangbe criticized the new Director General for National Fisheries and Aquaculture, Cyrus Segbet, for failing to give credit to his predecessors, Emma and M. Glasgow, who worked hard to see the projects come to fruition. Nangbe's comments didn't stop there. He expressed disappointment about the political climate in the country, accusing the Unity Party of engaging in divisive and malicious tactics that aim at undermining the CDC-led government. According to Nangbe, these actions are harmful to the country's progress. He also called on President Boakai to take more decisive action to address the nation's challenges, stating the president has a responsibility to keep the country safe and peaceful. Nangbe highlighted the importance of rule of law and urged politicians, particularly those not trained in law, to respect the Supreme Court ruling on critical national issues. Nangbe reiterated that the former President Weah is content, observing that the ongoing political development, former President Weah is not and will not be bothered about the insults, but will encourage more civil discourse, Nangbe said. He also criticized current administration handling of the impasse in the House of Representatives, urging the government to focus on governance rather than political infighting. Nangbe urged the police to remain independent and professional in their duties, reminding them that they should be more politically motivated in their work. The police must be independent and professional, he said, emphasizing that the security forces must serve the country without being biased. So that is another big story within the front page Africa newspaper. May's reaction greet VP Kun endorsement of Koga in Nimba by election. And you see the photograph of Vice President Jeremiah Kun and the host of citizens from Nimba County expressing their opinion over the recent decision by Vice President Jeremiah Kun to endorse Samuel Kogart in the Nimba elections. But before going to that development, let's try to recognize some of our esteemed followers who are following this development. Chairman Roland T. Kolu is following this live broadcast, and my own brother and friend Rufus Divine Brooks is also following this conversation. Thanks to all of you for following. Let's go over mixed reaction greet Vice President Kun endorsement of Koga in Nimba by election. Vice President Jeremiah Kun recent endorsement of Representative Samuel Koga, the candidate of the Movement for Democracy and Reconstruction in the upcoming Nimba County senatorial by-election, has sparked mixed reactions across the country. Kun appear for Nimbadians to rally beyond Koga has been met with both support and strong opposition, with many weighing on the political implication of his decision. Speaking on a local radio station last week, Kun framed the election as an opportunity for Nimba to achieve ethnic balance in its Senate representation. He specifically appealed to the minor citizens to join this group, highlighting the previous support from Gio ethnic group for minor candidate. He also called on Mandingos and other ethnic groups to unite in support of Kogat, who hails from Gio tribe. Political analysts have noted that Kun's move signaled an emergence of a new political power broke out in Nimba following the death of Senator Prince Johnson, whose passing has prompted the by-election. Front Page Africa has gathered a range of responses from Nimbadians with opinions sharply divided, along with both political and ethnic lines ahead of the April 22nd by-elections. Amos Tupai, his local supporter, expressed his full endorsement of Vice President Jeremiah Kun's decision. I support Vice President Kun's decision to endorse Representative Samuel Koga as the next senator of the county. This is a commendable decision because it will help restore peace and unity among Nimbadians. We will collectively support him in this endorsement of Representative Samuel Koga, Tupai said. Andrew David, a businessman from Ganta, acknowledged that Vice President Kun has every political right to support anyone, especially some, since both he and Koga came from the same MDR. However, David stated that he would not follow Kun's lead. This time, we will not follow his decision. It is time for Nimbadians to vote broadly, not based on party affiliations, but by choosing the best candidate to replace the late Senator Prince Johnson, David said. Michael Vanning, another resident of Ganta, voiced support for the endorsement, citing Koga's past work and fully in support of Vice President Kun's decision to endorse Representative Koga as the best candidate to replace the late Senator Prince Johnson. This decision is welcomed by me and the entire family. Based on Koga's past record, endorsing him is not a mistake. We will follow the Vice President and lead and continue to support him without hesitation. However, Jeremiah Bidelt, a businessman in Ghana, expressed frustration over the Vice President endorsement. Nambadians have the right to support and vote for a candidate of their choice. We don't want anyone else to promote a candidate for the by-elections, Bidelt stated. Odusha Z Mountain sharply disagreed with Vice President Koon's endorsement and pledged not to support Representative Kogai. He criticized Koon for what he perceived as an undue influence in the county's political choices. Vice President Koon, as the senior leader, should not support anyone as equally, but also assist them financially and step back. We will also allow this to happen in our county, Mountain said. He further questioned, should any Gio men be senator, and insisted that this could not happen. Koon scored zeroed in this election, and we will not follow this lead or allow it to happen, Mountain emphasized. Jerry K. Quill, a Ganta resident, stated that a true leader should not show direction to his people and acknowledged that Koon and the Unity Party official had done so in the past elections. We will not follow their lead in supporting Representative Samuel Koga as the next godfather to replace the late Senator Prince Johnson, Quill said. On the hand,